Today we put into the top 5 AI models to a stress test. ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Perplexity, and Grok. I've been using AI in my real estate business for over 2 years. I started by asking just random questions to AI. Then I wanted to go deeper. I didn't want it just to be an answer question type of relationship. I actually wanted it to do things for me. So I started researching which models are better, and I found that Claude was better in certain things, ChatGPT was better in other things. But today I want to actually test every single one of them and put them side by side to see which one of these softwares will perform the best for my real estate wholesaling business. So we're going to do this in 3 parts. We're going to ask the same exact prompt to all 5 models. And my thought process is that if the prompt answer was good and I just wanted to go a little bit deeper, I'm going to ask a follow-up prompt. And after testing these, we're going to rate them in 5 categories. Number 1 is accuracy. How accurate were the responses? Did they make sense? Number 2 is speed to useful. How many follow-up prompts I had to give to AI in order to get my result? Number 3 is a real estate knowledge depth. How much does it actually understand in real estate business? Number 4, what was the real world advice that it gave me? Did it tell me like, you should do this, hey, you should do that? Did it make sense? And number 5 is just researchability. How much it actually was able to research the questions that I asked, how in depth did it go? As a person that builds AI automations besides my real estate business, this is super valuable information. So I'm very excited myself as a person that uses AI every single day to see the results. So without further ado, let's jump onto the computer and stress test these AIs. The way this is going to work, I have 3 prompts. And the first prompt is this. I'm a real estate wholesaler in Guilford County, North Carolina. I need to get the current tax delinquent property list for this county. Give me step-by-step instructions on how to get it, including the exact website, who to contact, any fees involved, and what format it comes in. We're going to go ahead and start with Gemini. For full disclosure, I have Gemini subscription, Claude, and ChatGPT. I don't have Grok or Perplexity. I don't think that's going to really change too much, but just for full disclosure, I did want to mention that. So let's go ahead and change the York County to Guilford, and let's go ahead and see. So we'll see obviously how fast it responds, how detailed the information is, and how useful the information is, of course. We're going to rate it on all the 5 categories that we spoke about. All right, so Gemini response is finally coming in. So it doesn't have one-click download, which is kind of true, but we're going to go over that here in a second. You have to access the electronic legal notes portal. It's official delinquent tax advertised online rather than in newspaper, so the most investor-friendly version. Notice advertising property published March 2026. This is typically searchable web with PDF for housing. You may need to use a web scraper, all that stuff. Okay. If you're looking for properties that have moved past simple delinquency into the actual legal foreclosure, the county maintains, okay, request custom data export. If you want the entire world database, which allows you to filter by equity, all that stuff, you need to get it directly from the county with phone numbers and email, which I don't know if that's a correct email. I'm curious. I will check it out. Generally, there's no fees, detail, tax collector, all that stuff. And then it just says that it's good to advertise to tax liens. Okay, that's fine. Here's the thing. I believe the information that he gave is actually correct. When I go to this website and then I can find this, and then I go to this website, I can go ahead and download it. I'll let you guys know what that looks like, but it looks like it's correct. Yeah, absolutely. That's correct. It tells you the owners and all that stuff. So this is awesome. It's actually something that I need myself because I actually need to have this for my real estate business. So a couple of things I want to mention when it comes to rating and categories. When it comes to usefulness for real estate, the category number 3, the real estate depth, this did great because obviously you give an extra tip, saying for wholesalers, what it does, all that stuff. When it comes to accuracy, it was also very accurate. It did give me the right website that led me to the right place. And honestly, when it comes to speed to usefulness, it was just one prompt and it gave me exactly what I asked for. But then one thing that I wish it did, I wish it kind of helped me maybe go a little bit more into detail when it comes to scraping the website and maybe converting the CSV file. I don't know if any other AI models were going to do this, but that's just my personal opinion. So personally, it did suggest me, would you like it to draft an email to public records request? Not necessary is good, but I wish it offered more formatting help here because that's what AI is really good at. And the other thing is that this is not really applicable because what he gave me here actually covers this. So a little bit disinformation per se, like not on purpose, but maybe a little bit confused, but that's okay. All right, so overall, I would say it did pretty decent. All right, so let's go ahead and test that on Perplexity. Same thing. Let's see how fast it takes and what is it able to help me with. Perplexity is a very interesting one because not a lot of people talk about it as much. All right, so it tells me to go here to link with text listing available with text listing for a year. This site currently has view text listing. All right, let's check that out. Okay, well, it gave me a broken link. Not a great start for Perplexity. Click that link to open account advertise to look at list. This is the official advertisement. Let's see. It gave me this. But to be fair, this link was incorrect. But this link that he gave me is exactly the link that I need. But this gave me a 2024 link, not 2025. So it's kind of behind. Usually it's correct that it's, provided this. You can use this alternative website. You can also contact them. When you call them, this is what you should do. The fees, step by step, check the legal notice, call it if they only provide note. Okay. So if you kind of look over this, it gave me a broken link, which is not great. It still gave me a correct link somewhere down the line. Gave me the breakdown of the two other options where you can get a hold of this. It also gave a pretty good script of like what you should ask right away. So without me even asking to give me a script, it did that. And it also gave me a practical step-by-step summary of what to do and how to acquire this list. So interesting result. I would say accuracy, not great. When it comes to speed, it did give me that. I mean, it was just one prompt and it gave me exactly what I needed, even though it wasn't super correct, but kind of. Real estate knowledge, not much, because it didn't really give me any suggestions as a real estate person what I would need. Then action ready output, I will say that was a 5, well, for sure, at least this response, because it gave me a step-by-step what to do if this is the option, if this is the option. So it's pretty good on that. And researchability, again, not too bad, but again, this just being the wrong link kind of screws everything else up, right? So that's kind of the unfortunate part. Again, let's check it out. Okay, well, this time the link, no, this is the different link. Yeah, the link still doesn't work, so it's the incorrect link. The second link that he gave me does work. So the main one, kind of like when you Google something, the first link that comes up is what you click. So the first link that AI gives you should be the right link. So this is very unfortunate. But we'll see how Perplexity does on the rest of the test. So let's go ahead and go to Claude, which is my favorite one out there nowadays. While that's running, we'll see there's ChatGPT and Grok. I'm going to go ahead and just paste it in those two so we can speed it up. All right. So Claude said, free Guilford County publishes technical data as public data set. Okay. Go to delinquent bill search. Let's see. You can download the CSV. It gives me what kind of file you can download in. Download the list. It will include all that information. You can then go here rather than just individuals. Public record, most complete list. You can get it directly if they don't have it. This is just a backup option. There is also foreclosure tax warrant list, which is kind of like extra. It did answer a question about the fees, what it typically includes. Pro tip for wholesale list, just skip trace the owners, all that stuff. So it pretty much gives you real estate tips, which is awesome. Let's see. So it gave me a list of tax delinquent report. This is March 12th, 2026. So this is very recent. This is the most recent list. So I can go ahead right away, download it. And even gave me another list, which looks like the same one, same link twice. Okay. So this is awesome. I mean, this can be considered one of the best responses. I would say it's very similar to what Gemini did. I will say the only thing that it didn't do, it didn't really give me any following action that it can help me with. So, which is not really cool. So I might give this a 3 when it comes to that. And then the research, it did pretty well. I mean, it even went over beyond onto foreclosure. So I would say Claude did really, really well here. Like I said, the biggest thing was that it didn't really give me following actions that I would follow. All right, let's see what ChatGPT did. So fastest way to get the current list property step by step, you have to go here. Okay, so that's the main website. Click that look list or to, okay, let's see. All right, so this is great. So it did give me the right link that was published March 16th. All right, download it and print, all that good stuff. Exact website, awesome. Gave me the contact information just in case. It's free to download. If you do request it, you might have to pay. Public version, all that stuff. Best practice if you're wholesaling, grab it immediately. You can ask for a better working file. Cool. It's available. Contact all this. I can also draft the exact public wording. Okay. So based on what ChatGPT said, it pretty much had a very similar response to Gemini. I think that it was accurate, it was fast, it did well. Again, I just don't feel like it over-delivered. They delivered exactly what I asked. I do like when AI tries to over-deliver. So far, I've seen only Claude do that. but kind of the next steps of things and stuff like that. But it did well. It did exactly what I asked it to. And I feel like this is the easiest test out of the 3 we're going to do. It didn't really talk about real estate knowledge per se in some questions, so I'm going to kind of knock some points down. Didn't really offer any actions. And when it comes to research, it did well. All right, let's see what Grok said, and let's check it out. So this says go here. Oh, wow. This is right away gives you a file to download. It doesn't even give you to go to a website. And it's the correct file, actually. Right, go to this, use the list for your wholesale and business, contact the office. This is the official list. Oh, that's it. You have immediate free access to the exact. Grok was just very short and to the point without really much extra stuff, which is kind of sometimes what you want. But a lot of times in this research, for me to really determine if it's a good use of AI, I want to see that extra stuff. So it was super accurate. It was speed to use was awesome. Real estate knowledge didn't really talk too much about it. It did say how you can use this, but that's not much real estate knowledge per se. So unfortunately, I would have to knock some points off that because there was no really real estate knowledge. But action, again, it didn't give me any action at all, like not even a suggestion, not even ask me. At least the other ones at least asked me something. And research, it did okay. Research, yeah, I would say so. All right, so that was Grok. All right, so this was the first prompt. So we're gonna go ahead and insert the second prompt and see how each model does. So this is the next prompt. We're gonna start with Gemini. It's about a house that in the neighborhood of I own actually a different house in there. And I wanna see if it can determine ARV of a property. If it understands what ARV is, how to determine it, all that stuff. Let's see if it can do research. While that's happening, we're gonna go ahead and ask the other AIs to do the same. All right, so to determine the repair value, we'll have to look at renovated homes in this neighborhood. So it does understand how it looks. With a median sale price of $325K, Wholesale itself is a prestige street for that neighborhood, offering support higher than average numbers for the area. You should prioritize sold comps and similar square footage, plus minus 15%. That's correct. There's this comp that sold next door, 350K. This says here ceiling, since yours is a 32, you'll be slightly below this. So, okay, makes sense. Yes, it would be below this. This sold larger than yours, but confirms that 350K is achievable specific street renovated product. But this was bigger square footage, just a lot of square footage difference. And then this one, this is supposed to be average or dated condition. Okay. Based on the per square foot for actually renovated homes on the street. Estimated ARV 315, 335. Buyer high will pay premium for the road as the finishes are modern if you keep it this. Since you mentioned it's a full rehab, if it will likely budget 60, 75K for work, all that good stuff. So max offer is 150K depending on your desired assignment fee. Finish based on main homes, it'll have them if you use above grade, brick and mortar, all that stuff. Honestly, it did really well. I would say it's a very accurate ARV calculation. So I'm very pleased to see this. This did really well. Let's take a look at this Perplexity. All right, based on the comps, it's about 290 to 310 with 300K, so it was more conservative. Nicely updated, about 162. This one was a little more conservative, so it thinks about 285, 302K strong but realistic, 325K if you really do well. You can pull the data, it's saying all that stuff. I mean, it's not off. I'm glad that it at least still did it. This one at least gave me like a more accurate, what I would say 325. I mean, 325 is a little bit on the higher end, so being conservative on the ARV is not a bad thing. So I will say that this gave a little less information when it comes like as a wholesaler, what would you offer? And if it understands what ARV is, how to determine it, all that stuff. So when it comes to deeper research, it didn't do as well. Let's say what Claude said. This is important to head into this selection. The market has softened year over year. Homes are sitting in 61 days. It's not a crash, but it means you should be pulling comps conservatively. Okay, at least it did market research. Awesome. There's this comp for 247 and 100. Then there are some other comps within 6 months. So this comp, this comp, this comp, all are being pulled. I'm a little disappointed in Claude here because I feel like that's way incorrect ARV. Again, 250K for this, absolutely not. Yeah, if it has basement, you have to do more research, all that stuff. I would say it did do actual research saying, hey, you might have delinquency on the square footage, which might be correct. I don't know. I would say when it comes to ARV, didn't do as well. But for that extra data, I would say it did really well. I would say the only problem is that there's a couple of other comps on the street that it could have pulled that I know of. So not bad, but in this round, so far Gemini is winning. All right, let's take a look at this one. So broke it down, what comps you should be looking at. Great. it pulled comps, same square footage, price per square footage, high-end, clean, modern flip. So this kind of conservative ARV is too low, but these two make sense. So ARV between 3 or 5K being the ceiling. Quick deal math, all that stuff, MAO. So this says this is how much you should be offering. But also has really good real estate knowledge. I would say a little more conservative on the price, but that's not super bad. I would say did pull really good comps to where and kind of talk about it and all of that stuff. So ChatGPT did really well here with a great real estate knowledge here also. So I'd say Gemini and GPT did really well. Claude, not as well, not as good. It's okay, but maybe not as good. Perplexity is just not doing well at the moment. Let's see what Grok said. Grok said 305. Seems like a lot of them land in the same space. Give me some comps. Next door, fully renovated. This is per square footage. Makes sense. All that stuff. So, okay. And then it kind of goes on. This is what you should do, but it did pull comps. All right. So based on this, I would say Grok did well, maybe not too much when it comes to, hey, what you should be offering at and all of that. It did do okay here. I feel like it estimated rehab at 50K, which is not enough for a full rehab of 1,800 square feet home if you're doing the roof and the HVAC and everything. So I think it was a little bit off there, but I would say in this round, surprisingly, Gemini did the best. Claude came second, GPT next, and then it was Grok and then Perplexity last again. Perplexity is last on the second one in a row. Let's see the last prompt and see how it does. All right, so the last prompt is about finding buyers. So it's just pretty much says, I have a property under contract in Highport, North Carolina, 3-2 ranch, the square footage, ARV, all that stuff, asking price. I need to find cash buyers. Give me 5 specific strategies to find the cash buyers, all that stuff. Let's see what it does. Will it give me links? Will it just tell me to go, figure it out myself? Or let's see what the result of this will be. All right, so Gemini gave me 3 links. It gave me 1 Facebook group, another Facebook group, 3 Facebook groups, but High Point, Greensboro, real estate for sale. So it looks like it gave me a couple of links. One of them was good. The other one, not as much. And the third one also is not the best, but the first link was good. Don't post the full address. Good tip. Contact active investors. There are some investors here. Do the Triaria lunch and learn. Yes, that's a pretty good suggestion. Reverse prospecting on Zillow, Redfin. Yep. Call local property management companies. And that's also a good suggestion. I would say so. So I would say real estate knowledge was great, accurate, speed to answer great. The only thing I would say that there was problems with some of these links didn't make sense. They just don't lead to the right places. So I'm gonna knock some points off that, but overall it didn't do too bad. All right, let's see what Perplexity said. You can post it to Facebook groups. Let's see what links it actually gave me. Okay, that's a great link. Same link again. Okay. So, I mean, it gave me a couple of good links. I don't know why it gave me Winston-Salem, but a little bit better links than what Gemini did. Try to hit this home. So it actually gave me a couple of we buy houses in the area. Build a list. Look to JV, add serious people, go to Craigslist, a little old school, but still possible. Local RIA meetup. It didn't tell me which local RIA because I know there's a triad RIA and that would be the best one. So it didn't tell me that. All right, well, so I will say that wasn't the greatest, but it did give me decent links. So it's okay. I feel like Perplexity is not performing too well. Let's see what Claude did. Pull cash buyers from public records. That's a good suggestion. Find everyone who is a cash buyer. Then it suggested to go to Facebook groups and gave me the names of the groups. Okay, sounds good. I wish it gave me links, but okay. Bigger Pockets Marketplace, call tax active buyers, and list stores direct mail to local landlords. That's also an interesting suggestion. Kind of expensive. It may not be the best thing to do, but I really did enjoy this first suggestion. It's awesome. So Claude did great. I wish they just provided links to the Facebook groups because it can. I just didn't do the best when it comes to, obviously that's a great deal. That would be awesome. All right, let's see what ChatGPT said. All of these ones keep giving me local Facebook groups, but let's see if they're actually good. Okay, North Carolina. Okay, good. What about this one? So it did do that. So it's kind of researching them. Okay, that's pretty solid that it does that. Let's see. I mean, I'm on all these groups, so these are pretty solid groups. Yeah, I mean, I would say they did really well here. your format, then it just kind of tells me what I should post. Reverse engineer, go to prop stream. So it did actually know prop stream, batch, Zillow, all that stuff. Then it talked about use Facebook Marketplace, also good one. I have found a lot of buyers doing that. JV with local wholesalers, hit hard money lenders, also good suggestion. I really like this suggestion a lot in the way that it kind of broke everything down. This is awesome. All right, let's see what Grok said. Blast the deal to active tried RIA Facebook groups. Let's see. Good. That's a good group as well. Yep, the groups are good. So Grok actually did well and gave the real links. House cash in. Oh wow, what is this? What is this website? Is this like Investor Lift? I'm surprised none of them mentioned Investor Lift, to be fair. Post on Craigslist, list on Facebook Market, reverse search Craigslist will buy houses. So 2 times it mentioned Craigslist. A decent suggestion when it comes to this other website. Again, I'm surprised that nobody mentioned Investor Lift, but overall didn't too bad. Let me go ahead and sum up these ones and tell you what are the top 5 models and the sum of all of them. All right, so the results are in, and I'm very excited to tell you guys the results. In the last place, without anyone's surprise, if you watch the full video, it's Perplexity with 13 points out of potential 25. They really didn't do too good. I mean, there were some moments that it did okay, and it was like, oh wow, this was good information. But if you're paying for a software like that, it shouldn't be a surprise that it did good. All right, so I think that one is deserving the last place completely. In the 4th place is Grok. Okay, Grok did better than Perplexity, but it cannot still compete with the top 3 models out there. I think it came to my big surprise that Grok didn't do well because I used to use it, but I guess there is a reason why I stopped paying for that subscription and switched to different AI models. What's very funny is the top 3 that came out is the top 3 that I actually pay for. And this shows me that I did a lot of research to find top 3 AI models for every single part of my business. And all of them do really well. All right, so 3rd place, bronze medal. You might be very surprised, but 3rd place is ChatGPT. Good old ChatGPT still did really well, but was not able to beat the other 2 platforms. It did really well in a lot of things. I think it didn't do too well in action to be able to actually suggest what it should do and the changes it should make and all that stuff, but have a really good accuracy. I would say it could have done a little bit more real estate research, but overall the action part is what really knocked down some points from ChatGPT. 2nd place is, this might very surprise you, there's no 2nd place. Actually, Claude and Gemini have both ended up on the same points, so they both take the throne of separating number 1. Going into this, I mean, I paid for Gemini because of Nano Banana. If you know, it's one of the best AI generation picture models out there. It does really well for different parts of my business, so I absolutely love using it. But when it comes to research and using it on an everyday basis, I didn't think that it would do so well because I use Claude as my main AI model. ChatGPT is my backup model when I just need to ask a quick question. Gemini I don't use for that, but Gemini did awesome. Awesome. Super surprised. So honestly, in a lot of ways, it beat Claude, but Claude was a little more consistent in certain things. So therefore, they both ended up at 23 points. Again, this is kind of mind-blowing for myself as a person that uses AI and builds AI automations for all real estate and other businesses. I use these models on an everyday basis and things change daily. Some models go above the others. Some models progress more in this way. I mean, Cloud Code, the Cloud Cowork, and everything that Cloud has done, you would think that it would be beating everyone. I feel like not enough people talking about Gemini. It's doing absolutely awesome. I'm so surprised. So if one thing you should take away from this video, different models are good for different things, but you do have to do a full research before committing to one of them. You don't want to be paying subscription for things and then getting not the best product from them. I hope you enjoyed this video, and of course, if you do have any questions about AI or real estate, leave them in the comments down below. I'll be happy to answer them. But besides that, thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.